Hello, I'm Robert Patrick, and this is my church, St. Thomas the Apostle in Hollywood, California. We're here at Christmas, time of joy and renewal. St. Thomas was founded in 1914 as a mission of the Episcopal Diocese of Los Angeles. 100 years ago, Hollywood was a far-flung district of Los Angeles. It had more dairy cows and orange trees than residents. In fact, because the Bishop of Los Angeles at that time believed there would never be a need for an Episcopal parish at that remote corner of LA, the first congregation selected St. Thomas, the doubting apostle, as the parish's patron saint. Despite the bishop's doubts, by 1920, St. Thomas was a full-fledged parish in the Diocese of Los Angeles. And 10 years later, construction began on our existing Gothic Revival church, designed by renowned architect Harold H. Martin. While parts of the church were never completed due to the Great Depression, Martin's vision can still be seen today throughout this beautiful building. Now, a full century after gaining mission status, St. Thomas is embarking on one of its most ambitious endeavors, a $730,000 capital campaign. To understand the origins of this important challenge, we must go back to the mid-1980s, a difficult and for many, a desperate time in the history of Hollywood and the country.
St. Thomas the Apostle was a very sleepy, quiet parish back in the early 1980s, but when Father Carroll Barber came in 1986, he made a momentous decision to open the doors of the church to everyone in the community. This caused quite a stir. The legend has it that while he was away, that project was put forward to build a memorial organ to which people could contribute from the parish and beyond the parish, and the organ would be an HIV and AIDS memorial instrument to commemorate the many hundreds and thousands who have died of AIDS-related illnesses. Weston Harris is an immensely talented and brilliant young man who brings his gifts and his wisdom and learning to this project and has inspired the leadership of the church from the very earliest days when he headed up the project to build and reconstruct the organ here at St. Thomas the Apostle in Hollywood.
The core of the St. Thomas Memorial Organ is from a 1904 instrument built by the Los Angeles Art Organ Company, founded by the distinguished early 20th century organ builder Murray Harris. It was built for Christ Church Episcopal in downtown Los Angeles. At St. Thomas, the original organ of 44 ranks, a rank is a complete set of pipes, was increased to 63 ranks to make it a more effective performance instrument. This expansion was accomplished by the addition of many important components, including the historic 1923 console shell and bench by the E.M. Skinner Organ Company for Stanford University, and the trombone and trumpets built in 1930 by the Aeolian Skinner Organ Company for the Memorial Church at Harvard University. There are some sets of pipes in the organ dating back to the 1890s. Several additions were donated by people with AIDS. They were saving them for special instruments they were creating, but because they knew they would not live to do so, wanted them honored and placed at St. Thomas.
Because of limited resources during its initial construction, Weston Harris advised that after 15 years, some elements of the organ would need updating. With thrift and ingenuity, he managed to stretch that to a full 24 years. However, by December 2011, the vestry of St. Thomas shut down the St. Thomas Memorial Organ for safety reasons. For several months, St. Thomas used a piano during services which, despite best efforts, was inadequate for our parish's high Anglo-Catholic style of worship. Thankfully, during this time, Weston Harris was able to reconfigure a small portion of the organ to adequately support congregational singing. In mid-2013, with the support and approval of the bishops and the Diocese of Los Angeles, St. Thomas obtained a construction line of credit secured by its property. to perform the necessary work on the St. Thomas Memorial organ. After lengthy research, St. Thomas again turned to Weston Harris, this time to update and complete this extraordinary memorial instrument. The amount of work and expense required to complete and renovate this magnificent memorial to those who suffered and died during the AIDS crisis is substantial. It will cost St. Thomas almost $500,000. While this is a modest sum for an instrument of this size and complexity, for St. Thomas, the amount is significant. Still, after several months of meetings and interviews conducted by a strategic planning consultant, our community expressed its resounding opinion. The St. Thomas Memorial Organ is an integral part of who we are as a parish, and the organ project must be completed. It is the overwhelming support from the parish that is the catalyst for this $730,000 capital campaign, St. Thomas's first capital campaign in more than 80 years. In another outgrowth of meetings and interviews with our strategic planning consultant, the vestry people of St. Thomas identified several other pressing projects that the capital campaign should address. The stained glass windows in the church were installed in the early 1930s. Due to age, sun, and weather, the windows are in desperate need of stabilization. This has been confirmed by several experts who have warned that without immediate attention, many of the stained glass windows are in danger of falling out of their frames. The old gas heaters in the church are on their last leg. After extensive research, the vestry people of St. Thomas identified new, efficient heating and air conditioning units designed for buildings like ours. Once installed, these units will keep St. Thomas cool in the summer and warm in the winter. In the 100 years it has served Hollywood and the surrounding communities, much has changed. Despite the neighborhood's pleasant suburban feel, ours is now very much an urban setting, and security is an important issue. While a hallmark of St. Thomas is the welcoming nature of our community, after consultation with security experts, the vestry has determined that security measures must be taken to preserve and protect this sacred place. The St. Thomas Parish Kitchen is the center of fellowship and outreach at St. Thomas. Twice a month, we serve Saturday breakfast to 150 people looking for a hot meal. There are daily 12-step programs in our parish hall that use our kitchen, and we prepare food for the county USC AIDS feeding program regularly. Yet our kitchen desperately needs to be renovated and upgraded. Renovation funded through this capital campaign will ensure that the parish kitchen can adequately serve present and future members of the St. Thomas community and empower our outreach for years to come.
Our mission at St. Thomas the Apostle, Hollywood, in this immensely diverse culture is to be a holy place where all are named and hearts are freed to change the world. A central part of our ministry and our outreach is, of course, our kitchen, and we hope to improve the facilities that we have for providing nourishment to the many homeless who come here on Saturdays, and also the luncheon preparation that we do for the county USC hospitals, HIV and AIDS clinic.
The organ renovation and other projects included in the St. Thomas Capital Campaign are significant, and our goal is ambitious. However, for 100 years, the people of St. Thomas have been strong, resilient, and willing to face difficult challenges head-on. T.S. Eliot once said, "The stones of churches are saturated with the prayers of generations." With those prayers and yours, there is no doubt that we can claim the heritage of those who came before us and build an exciting future for St. Thomas the Apostle, Hollywood, and for the people and communities